Hello, everyone, and welcome to Student Stories, the segment that involves discussion with students and other community members about their work to make Arlington a more positive, welcoming, and all-inclusive place. And today, I'm happy to be joined with Maya Patel-Massini and Noah Sweeter of the Anti-Racism Working Group at Arlington High School. In terms of the general Arlington community as a whole, how does the AWG integrate different perspectives from different community members into the projects that you put together?
Since the inception of the Anti-Racism Working Group, part of the goal was not just to have it be, first of all, a student-run group, and from the very first days, we reached out to teachers and administrators to make it a collaborative effort with them. And since then, we've reached out to other community groups in Arlington, including the Arlington Fights Racism, the Arlington Human Rights Commission, and other committees. Because we know that we are not the only ones who are working towards building an anti-racist culture, building a more inclusive culture in Arlington. And it's best to work together and to collaborate on our projects so that we can be most effective towards our work.
Yeah, that's a really great sentiment. Kind of along those lines of outside of promoting an anti-racist culture within the AHS student body, how has your communication generally been with the AHS administration so far? Are you happy with the relationship that you've formed with the administration? And what are some accomplishments that you would consider to be really great that you working with the administration?
Yeah, so in terms of communication, I think I've been a bit surprised by how communicative they have been, and they're always very responsive and happy to meet with us and to help us in any way. One thing that has frustrated me a bit is that at the end of the day, the work that we're doing, for example, I'm leading a group that's looking to reform curriculum. That's work that should be done by administration. We're students, we're not the ones who first of all, we don't have expertise in it, but then also, it's not our jobs. Our jobs are to be students and to learn through the curriculum, not to reform the curriculum ourselves. So I think there's frustration in that this is work that should already have been happening and should be done by adults, by professionals.
So my last question for both of you today is relating to the storming of the Capitol that took place on January 6th. And obviously, the mob that stormed the Capitol brought many blatant displays of racism with them. And I wanted to ask both of you, what was your reaction to this event that took place? And how does that further inform the work of the AWG as a whole?
So first, just seeing this in general was incredibly disgusting for me. It is by far the least democratic thing I've ever seen in my life. Whether you're a Republican or a Democrat alike, we should all be agreeing that this is something that should never happen. It's basically like, it's like when kids don't get their way and they throw a temper tantrum. Like, sorry that the election, like, you lost, and this is how you show your anger through violence and raiding and destroying national property. Like, that's awful, first of all. Second of all, the fact that we see a Confederate flag, the fact that we see people wearing the 6 million wasn't enough shirts, things like that, it's just so frustrating and makes it more prevalent than ever that we need things like the AWG. We need people who are showing that this stuff still exists. Everyone likes to say, like, oh, we don't need to worry about this anymore because the majority understands that Black lives do matter, blah, blah, blah. But clearly that's not the case. There's people out there who still think this and have very harmful ways of projecting what they believe. And just in general, like, for people who say, like, oh, we don't need to be as aggressive, not as aggressive, but as intense in the AWG, this is exactly why we do need to be intense about it.
I'm trying to get up